Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back. I'm glad to see you back for lesson 2. We are going to be doing lesson 2, puzzle pieces, evidence of continental drift. And here we have a picture a picture of 200 million years ago. Pretty cool. So we're going to be talking about these pieces of the continents. And we're going to talk about the theory. You are going to learn about the theory of continental drift. Before we begin, we're going to look at the key terms. And it says, can you drag the right definition in blue to the correct terms in red? If you are correct, they will spin. Well, let's talk about that. Fossils. Would that be a theory that all continents move in different directions due to currents in the mantle? Probably not. Let's see. Preserved remains of long dead organisms? Let's try that one. Oh, look at that. We got that one right. And let's see. Theory. A coherent group of tested general propositions commonly regarded as correct that can be used as principles of explanation and prediction for a class of phenomena. Well, I don't think that's going to go with thermal energy or continental drift. So I feel like that really needs to go in theory. So do you see how we just kind of used a process of elimination to figure out that theory goes with this definition? And now we're left with thermal energy and continental drift. So thermal energy, the total amount of kinetic and potential energy in an object. That sounds about right, doesn't it? Awesome. Which then leaves theory that all continents move in different directions due to currents in the mantle. That's got to be continental drift, right? Okay, so we got familiar with some of our key terms. Let's move on to the next slide. Do you like completing puzzles? Many people do puzzles because it's a challenge to make all of the separate pieces fit together to make one large picture. Developing a theory about how the Earth looked millions of years ago is much like a puzzle. In 1912, a German scientist named Alfred Wegener used fossils and his puzzle pieces to determine that the continents of the Earth were moving further apart. All right, and right here, you can click here on this little icon. And whenever you see this globe icon, by the way, that usually means that it's a website, World Wide Web. And that's why they use the little world icon for that. Just on a side note. So you're going to click to read about Wegener. And you're going to take notes in your OneNote notebook about that as you read. All right? And he's in a little puzzle piece. This is him right here. All right, moving on. Then next thing you're going to do is you're going to read the article called Evidence Supporting Continental Drift. And you're going to take notes as you read in your section of the OneNote notebook. So where you find that, it was the same as in lesson 1. You found all the reading material under lesson resources. So you're going to go to lesson 2 resources, which is right here. You can get there either from your notebook file or just from the web, either way, whatever's easier for you. And you can get there from there and read it right in here if you want to. So you're going to read the entire article and then take notes in your OneNote notebook. All right, the next slide says, look at the map of the world below. On this map are places where specific fossil remains have been found. Study the key, and that's on the next slide. I'll show you. You're going to study the key for the fossil evidence map. All right. To learn about the organisms. Then infer how these organisms, fossils, could be found on 5 different continents that are separated by oceans. So you need to make an inference. In other words, you need to sort of make a statement about that. And I want you to put that in your notes. You're going to make a statement about how all of these fossils that kind of match each other, how could they be found on all these different continents? Because you can even see just from looking right here, and I'll make it a little bit bigger so we can really look. I mean, look at this map. You see these little, the black with the white dots, that represents something. Let's go look at what that represents. That represents Stenognathus. I'm not sure if I said that right, but did my best. Was a mammal-like dinosaur living during the Triassic period. Skeletal remains have been found in both Africa and South America. So let's go back to the map and look at that. So the remains of this animal have been found here and here. Interesting. So you're going to look at all the different fossils found on the key. All right, read all about all the different ones. Make sure you read about them too. Don't just look at the pictures. And then you're going to infer how these organisms, fossils, could be found on 5 different continents that are separated by oceans. Make a statement about what you think must have happened. All right, moving on. All right, and then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to look at this interactive site about continental drift. Play around with the timeline and see how the Earth may have looked during different stages of the drift. And you're going to read about the evidence. Evidence is such an important word for this lesson because we're talking about a theory. So a theory is something, it's a proposal. He's proposing that this might have happened based on evidence. He's basing it on certain evidence. And that's why it's so important to think about that word when we're learning about the continental drift theory. All right, so when I say play with the timeline, what I mean is you're going to kind of move this timeline over. Just let me see how when I moved it, what happened right there? Having a little bit of trouble moving it. But as you move it, you're going to see something happen to these continents. All right, and I want you to pay close attention to what's happening. I want you to take notes about what's happening. If you click here, it's going to give you, it's going to take you to a little sort of information box is going to come up, and it's going to give you a little bit more information about that particular part of the map. All right. Okay, moving on. This is really, really neat and fun. So make sure you explore all the way through what it has to offer. All right, the next thing we're going to do, and I'm going to actually make our page a little bit smaller because we can't quite see everything there. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to click and drag and rotate the pieces to put them together like a puzzle. Okay, so you want to just move them around, and if you're not sure how to rotate, if you click on it, it gives you a little green circle, and you can turn it in any which way you want. So basically these are the continents, and what you're going to do is you're going to try and see for yourself if they fit together like a puzzle. So you can determine whether continental drift really, whether that theory really has anything to hold it together as far as proof. Is there any evidence? And it says right here, is this evidence of continental drift? And I'm not going to do it. I just want you to do that on your own, in your OneNote, or I'm sorry, in your Smart Notebook file. And this is the key that goes to this puzzle map, so you can be aware of what all of these little icons and pictures mean. Okay. Next, you're going to do your reflection just like you did in lesson 1, and you're going to post your answers in the discussion board. And I have it here. I have it pinned right here for you, so you can do it right from your Smart Notebook file if you like. And next, you're going to go do your exit ticket. I would first, kind of study your notes, maybe do some of the activities, give yourself a chance to really get to know the information before you exit. Okay, you don't want to just rush into your exit ticket because you want to be able to exit with having known most of the questions, getting most of the questions right. Okay. Next slide. Now you'll go to the Laurel and Lane Wiki for more activities and videos, and I have it right here. Under Lesson 2 resources, there's a scatter game on Continental Drift. Let's see what else there is. There's also, I believe there's a movie. Yep, there's a movie down at the bottom. It's a really cool movie. You'll definitely want to watch it. It kind of shows what it's 650 million years in under 2 minutes, and it's really cool. So that's it for lesson number 2. I hope you enjoyed these last 2 lessons for virtual learning, and we look forward to seeing you for lesson 3. And please make sure that you take good care with your notes and go over them very well before you try at the exit ticket. Okay? Talk to you later.